Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate everyone as well. It is that time. I've already hit live. I think I'm live and on YouTube, so I gotta get things going and get it going. I will. Welcome into the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. Thank you for the words, Barco. That again, good to have the good people here. 25th of April, 2024. It is a Thursday. It is a part of the overarching Genesis week I've been waiting for, and that is to start taking the steps towards the final ceremony, closing ceremony, if we like, award ceremony, I guess is the right way to put it. And that is the nominations for Upland of the Year, for Artist of the Year, and for Broadcast of the Year. Again, that's just part of taking those steps towards Genesis Week. The next steps towards Genesis Week are going to be Hackathon. Looking forward to getting those announcements and getting that started and seeing how that rolls out. Upland's always said it's going to be a little bit different than what we've had in the past. I don't know if it's going to be headed towards a tool or trying to pull outside developers from outside of Upland to bring them in. Who knows? We'll have to see. But for today, we'll get into we'll get into the details. Get into the details for this Genesis Week award ceremony, or at least what some of the awards are and how to participate. A little different than last year, quite a bit different from last year as far as both the prizes, but as well as the process, at least as far as I was concerned for how things worked last year. Looking at a couple other things, obviously going on today, the big one is this maintenance on the website maintenance, and then the fact that it's going to be an extended period of time, pulling down one area of the site for a while and then bringing it close to going down for 3 hours and coming back up on the other side. So get into some of the details there, what to keep an eye on there. And of course, we can't forget it. We can't miss it. It is to put our time in now to be ready for tomorrow. Put those suggestions in, put those questions in tomorrow. Tomorrow, AMA Q2 roadmap. Get those questions in. Love to see what people have to say. Wish I could make it live in person. I think I will be working around through it, but I'll be watching it recorded, of course, in the afternoon tomorrow. We'll be talking about it tomorrow night. But before we get into all that, of course, all views and opinions expressed by myself are mine and mine alone. It should be taken as game strategy or financial advice. All venues and opinions expressed by those who are contributors or who are contributing as guests. They're theirs and there's no alone as well. They don't represent the game of the team of Upland, myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Show. Should be taken as financial or game strategy advice. Again, anything I do say doesn't represent the game of Upland, the team of Upland. Again, no game strategy advice, no financial advice contained within. Let's get this started. Let's take a look at some of these announcements. Again, I want to start with this heads up current website maintenance. This is a little different strategy on the maintenance. Historically, maintenances have been, the game was an outage. We can't do anything at all. We can't see anything at all in the game. This is a little different. This is a segmented update. Parts of the website, parts of the site aren't going to be available while they're being improved, while they're being changed, while they're being altered, and then we're going to have a better experience altogether. Fingers crossed. We don't know all the details, but we know it's coming. Hooray for the website updates, upgrades, and improvements. We're very excited to soon be able to unveil a brand new Upland.me website for you all. However, this means things will be temporarily unavailable on the site, like our past announcements. Don't worry though, we will temporarily post new announcements and information on our Medium page, www. Well, actually, apologize, https // uplandme.medium.com. And this is a page they haven't used a lot in a long time. Medium articles used to be a way for Upland to put things out. They did for a long time. And they haven't put a lot of those messages out for a while. So it's interesting to go back on an old art form. And it's also interesting that, Upland was kind of pulling back from Discord already, and they didn't want to put things mainly in Discord. And now, a lot of those messages and announcements aren't contained in the game, so they're going to an off site an alternative place, at least in the interim, to get those messages out, to have them hosted in a way people can get and have access to them. Some important links to track include our ongoing seasonal events, all necessary information for those who can be found over on Medium now. And here are the following links: the Blossom Season Race Series, if you want to get information on that. Blossom Gamified Earnings, you get a link here. And then the Blossom Season Ornament Challenge, you get the link here. Obviously, like I said, you can't get them in the old-fashioned place we've been getting them, where we've been used to seeing them over in or in the resources in the events and announcements. We are going to have to use off-site methods for now. Thanks in advance for your patience as we upgrade the site and improve how we share all the Upland goodness with you. We have already seen a lot of signaling in the last couple of weeks about Upland moving more and more online or onto Upland site. We did have Don discuss this idea of having things in layer 1, so they didn't have to post them or push them out in layer 2. And sometimes it takes a reorganization to do that effectively. So looking forward to it. It is coming shortly. Upland Community Awards 2024. It's time to nominate your favorites. Again, some of the details here are a little different than we had last year. We'll get into some of them. Everyone, it's time of year again. It's that time of year again when we celebrate the incredible members of the Upland community who have made significant contributions to our virtual world. We invite you to nominate outstanding Uplanders for 3 prestigious awards: Player of the Year, Broadcast of the Year, Designer of the Year. Nominate form is open now and will continue to be open until the close on Friday, May 3rd. That's next Friday, 9 a.m. PT. Check out descriptions of each award and nominate your favorites here. So this nomination form, go figure, it's on Medium. Well, I guess that's where we're getting these announcements in the interim. In the meantime, get out of the Medium page. There we go. All right, 2-minute read. Let's get through it. It's time of year again. It's that time of year again when we celebrate the incredible members of the Upland community. We've read all that. We invite you to nominate outside Uplanders for 3 prestigious awards. We read all that. Take a look at the award categories and start thinking about who deserves recognition for their hard work and dedication to the Upland community. Player of the Year, and this is going to be my pitch. There are some incredible players in the game of Upland. Read what Upland is suggesting that we look at for Player of the Year. We know that there's some incredible players who have been recognized in the past. I would posit that there are some incredible players who don't get enough recognition. So, maybe this is a category for people who have been doing things and continue to do things. And, they have communities and they have their nodes, or they have charitable organizations they've tried to set up in Upland and hopefully had some success with. So maybe look at those people, because I think that there's some great ones out there. Congratulations, obviously, we're in or in regards to Shacklin, made plenty of sense last year. Upland of the Year, gonna be a different one this year. Gonna be a different one. Player of the Year. This award goes to the Uplander who serves as an ambassador for the game, exudes a positive attitude, and represents the Upland community with pride and enthusiasm. Positive attitude, check. That's good for a lot of Upland. We need more of it. Represents the Upland community with pride and enthusiasm. I would go forward and helps bring the mission of Upland forward, and look forward to seeing those nominations. Good luck, everybody. And again, opportunity to, as we get into prizes here, potentially award somebody who might otherwise not be going to Genesis Week, help encourage them to go. Broadcaster of the Year. This award recognizes Uplanders who produce entertaining or informative. Notice it wasn't and or. So if you make something really boring, but you're telling a story that really gets people juiced about Upland, or at least answers questions that they might otherwise have, but you're boring as hell, that's good. That's good. You could be nominated Broadcaster of the Year. Helping to educate the community and bring joy to its members. Nominate Broadcaster of the Year here. Designer of the Year. This award celebrates Uplanders who consistently showcase exceptional creative abilities by skillfully designing content for the Upland metaverse. Nominate here. Submit your nominations now. The deadline for nominations is Friday, the 3rd of May at 9 a.m. PT. After the deadline, the Upland team will contact the top three. This is new. The top three nominees in each category and personally invite them to attend Genesis Live 2024 in person with complimentary accommodations provided by Upland. The winners will be announced during the award show at Genesis Live 2024 in Las Vegas, where they will receive a trophy. I love a trophy. 250,000 epics, an exclusive in-game badge, bragging rights for 1 entire year. Don't miss this chance to celebrate the achievements of Upland community during Genesis Live 2024. Couple things that we did not have last year. Again, it was the winner. It was kind of weird because Upland kind of told the winners they were going to be winners ahead so that they would know to come, and they know they had their hotel and flight paid for. So they had a reason to come to Upland. If they weren't going to come already, Upland Genesis Week, if they weren't going to come already, come to Upland Genesis Week. You won a prize. You're going to be recognized. We're going to pay for the room for you. This time, top three, Upland wants them there if they can get there. And they're going to incentivize or help get them there by paying for hotel, it looks like, accommodations. What's interesting is a lot of these categories, the people who are active in as broadcasters to potentially be nominated for the awards, a lot of them are going to go anyways because that's something they're doing. They're trying to broadcast what's going on here. It's a big deal. The people who are going to be Upland of the Year may or may not be going to Genesis Week, but I mean, a lot of the people who put a lot of effort into Upland, put a lot of time in Upland, a lot of those people go to Genesis Week anyways. And then, of course, finally, if you're a designer of the year, maybe you have a booth at Genesis Week, or maybe you were going to have a booth at Genesis Week anyways. Maybe you would be potentially part of a hackathon project, doing art for that hackathon project. So I do like the idea that it is very possible and would have been very possible for these people to already be going, and it's kind of a reimbursement on what they've already invested to be there, that they were going to go anyways, but they get a little compensation for all they do in Upland and essentially being nominated to go forward here. And the other thing that's interesting this year, whether or not these numbers line up or not, I think in the past, or at least in last year, it didn't look like it was the final number or the most nominated that ended up getting the award. In this case, the three most nominated are going to get a prize. They're going to get paid accommodation. And then it sounds like there's no rubric for who is the winner. It's not the person who had gotten the most nominations in the first place. There's no indication of that. I think that Upland might have the ability to make that decision. So, Upland, make that decision. Make the right decision. I think there's been this argument that there's been people who've been nominated for the award before, and some of them have been fair weather players, aka 3 months later, after they got nominated for something, they're not in the game anymore. And I think realistically, it's hard to tell who or what's going to happen afterwards. All you can do is you can look back on the last year. You can see, who has been influential to you as somebody who is, living and being and playing and being part of the Upland ecosystem. Who's been influential to you in terms of the art and the community? Who's been influential as far as broadcast, and who has been there in terms of helping make Upland a better place for you, or more interesting, or something that you like that much more. Looking forward to getting those nominations, see those nominations go through. I did already make my first nomination today. I will tell you, I haven't made them all, but it is an interesting thing to have to put this very small little note in there, and Upland had to put that note in there that essentially says, if you vote for yourself, if you nominate yourself, it doesn't count. It's got to be somebody else. Go figure. Of course it has to be somebody else. What are you doing nominating yourself? That's silly. Especially if it's like Upland of the Year. Yeah, I'm so great. I do all these things. Send me to Vegas or pay for my hotel in Vegas. It doesn't make sense. And the campaigning thing. I mean, I get it. If you want people to know all you've done. And I've got some people I would personally campaign for. But I bet, campaigning for And we'd seen this before. I think I don't hope there's not going to happen this year. I'm surprised Upland didn't put a note in there, but I've seen in the previous years where people were trying to incentivize people to nominate them, and obviously it's a closed system where you can't verify if someone did something or not. But because people would previously would say, oh, well, these vote contests were vote for my structure to win this contest, and you'll be entered into a drawing, and in that drawing somebody's going to win a prize. And that's been done before. Don't do that this time. Don't do that, people. Just don't do it. I think there's a lot of reasons for a lot of people to vote for and nominate specific people, and I really hope people take that time to think about those people and just make it happen. I'm looking forward to Genesis Week 2024 for so many people. So many people, yes, but so many things. The hackathon, I think, is going to be great. I'm looking for that announcement. I think that it is a great opportunity to recognize Uplanders who've been doing things all year long. And I'm looking forward to, again, just having the opportunity to learn more about the upcoming year, as well as reflect on the previous year. And this awards ceremony, these awards are a good opportunity to kind of review a year in review when we go into the closing portion of Genesis Week, when I'm going to get on my Spark, because it sounds like there's going to be a little bit of additional activities going through the night when we have these award ceremonies, so that people can enjoy that spark as there's people who are going and getting awards at the end of Genesis Week 2024. I did see a couple things here worth coming back and taking a look at as well. With a countdown there, we saw that that was all last night. But again, the big thing worth looking at for me and taking a step back is Upland's continuing to make that call for tomorrow being the AMA for Q2 roadmap update. We got some good information there, but it knocked a bunch of things loose. A lot of people had more questions than they had answers. The AMA, I think it was a good format this year. I think looking at broad strokes is a good format. It's a good way of looking at things. I like details as much as the next person, but this broad strokes of, yes, the version of this, whatever we're going to get, is MVP. We don't have all the details. We're not giving you all the details right now of what's coming, but this is a broad strokes. This is what we're looking at. It's coming this quarter. We know we're almost a month into this quarter now, so we can look forward to that and see that come out here in the near future. If there's something that was just too broad and more information had to be provided, those questions are great. I will almost 100% certainty see that we're not going to have anybody give direct details tomorrow on when the Spark listing is going to happen, what exchanges it's going to be on, the opening price for off Upland sales of Spark. I don't see any of those happening tomorrow. None of that information is coming, because that has to be finalized and that has to be presented in a specific way, and it's not going to be answering a question for AMA. So if you are housing and sitting on a bunch of those questions right now about Sparklet, I think that this is not where you're going to get those answers, not those types of answers anyways. But there are plenty of questions to ask, plenty of answers to get answered, and looking forward to seeing many of those tomorrow. Again, AMA, and as well as if you can be there live, there's that segment afterwards, and we've done a few of these where Don is in the plaza and people can ask questions directly, and you can also hear the answers to the questions other people are asking. And sometimes hearing those variety of answers, it's a question that you didn't think to ask, but it is an answer you needed. You feel that you resonate with that answer the second you hear it. So get there. If you can get there, if you have the time, if you're not in the middle of something else, if you can get to the bathroom for 15 minutes to listen. Obviously, don't talk while you're in the bathroom, but listen to what's going on while at work. Take that chance. I mean, as long as you're on a sanction break or sanction lunch, You're not going to get in trouble. We don't want you to lose your opportunity to earn money to be able to put more money into Upland. But if it's something you could be part of, again, historically, there's been some great answers on these. The good news is they do get recorded. The majority of they do get recorded, so you are able to go back and listen or see them later. So I'm looking forward to that as being the case as well. When I do look, again, look out into the next week. This idea that we have lost some of these, or we're losing some of these announcements or quick access to them, definitely worth still dropping a couple pieces on for DC. We do know we do have terminals registration on Monday, sale on Tuesday. We do have next week the opening here. Yeah, next week we do have the opening of the snapshot, or having the snapshot next Friday. A snapshot for pass holders of DC, and then obviously having those immediately following be available to mint. Those are those pass holders don't get the UPIX to go mint those properties. They just get the reservation of the properties to mint for a few days over the weekend. And then, of course, don't miss it. Mark it on your calendars now so you have the time, the energy, and the headspace to get involved if you can. That is next Thursday, the 2nd of May. That will be our collection reveal for DC. So for tonight, that's about what we've got. Definitely a lot more to watch out for. I'm going to put the warning out. More information to come, more information likely to come in the near future for Genesis Week. So watch out for that. We will be seeing more information in the next couple of days, a few days, I'm sure, about stats, hopefully, fingers crossed, stats in regard to Chapter 1 of the airdrop platform. Again, Upland has kind of alluded to this idea that there was a lot of people and an expansion of player base and people who did not have Upland accounts going and doing the platform and then setting up Upland accounts. I would love to see those numbers if Upland can get them all put together. But I do also want to point out next Friday, we will, or Thursday, I should say, we will have prizes hit, or we'll have the Sparklet hit for the people in the different levels, different tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if anyone got to 10, but I do know that I'm happy that I get out of level 1 at least. That I will get some amount of Sparklet. Fingers crossed, it's a decent amount when I do get that next week. And good luck to everybody. Let's see what the amounts are. The work is over. It's just time to get those prizes. But for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Mondays through Friday, 7 p.m. PT. We do this thing. We get together in the Upland Cafe early for a little pregame, a post-game as well. And of course, if you want to watch on YouTube, love to have you there. If you're watching record on YouTube, feel free to be there as well. And if you just want to get any questions, any thoughts, any things that you have thoughts on and you want more information or to see an interview, or you have a topic you want to talk about, let me know. Send me a DM, shoot me some information. So we'd love to hear about what we're working on so we can share it with others. Thank you much for being here. Of course, as always, if you're in the Upland Discord Cafe, feel free to unmute your mic. The floor is yours.